wanted to show this strategy of craps that I use. I'm going to show you on this this website. You can go and practice yourself on this website, and it's called wizardofodds.com/play/craps. It's usually right at the top of the search when you just search craps on Google. But on this, usually when I go, well, let me back up. Let me just say that if you're going to try this strategy yourself on a $10 minimum table, I would recommend trying it out with $300. So I'm going to start this session with $300, and I'm just going to start doing it and try to explain it to the best of my ability while I'm playing. So we'll always start with a minimum pass line bet of $10, since we're at a $10 minimum table, let's say. Oh, and looks like we have a point. We should get rid of this point. Okay, got rid of the point. So $10 minimum bet on the come out, and we're on the 8. Now I'm not going to put odds. I'm going to bet $75 on the don't pass bar. Sometimes I'll hedge that bet with a $5 bet on 11. Let's just do that now. So at this point during the second roll of the after the come out, we have the most money at risk. I have $90 at risk. I could lose it all with a 7 roll right here, which may sound like a lot, but there's a lot of players out there that have a strategy of the iron cross and the 3-roll molly and all that kind of stuff, where they have at least $90 at risk on any given roll. In fact, multiple rolls in a row. So I think that this is a very, very conservative and modest way of betting. But this is the only time you'll have this much money at risk. So let's roll and see what happens. I got a 6. So now I have a pass line bet on 8, and I'm going to maximize my odds on that on this table. On this particular table, I have 3, 4, 5 times odds, which is the worst possible. That means on the 4 and 10, I have 3 times my bet that I'm allowed to put on odds. So if a 4 hit on a $10 bet, the most I could put on odds is 30. On my 5 and 9, I could go up to 4 times odds, which would be $40. And on the 6 and 8, I could go up to 5 times odds, which would be $50. So that's what I'll do here, since I got an 8, is $50. And then I'll take and do minimum bets on the outside in this case. Basically, I'm putting place bets on numbers that I don't have a pass line bet on, and that I don't have my no, this would be a don't come or a no 6. And then in addition to that, I'm going to hedge a little bit. I have $75 on the no 6. I'm going to go ahead and put $5 on a hard 6. And there's there's actually exactly 5 different ways to roll a 6. By putting money on a hard 6, I'm taking away one of those ways to lose this $75. So now there's only 4 different rolls out of 36 that could possibly lose my $75. And also, before I roll my third roll, I'm going to put a $10 come bet. So if I 7 rolls right now, I lose the 75. I'm sorry, I'll win the 75 and win 10 more, so 85 total if a 7 rolls at this point. And I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I have 100 at risk if, plus the 5. So 105 at risk if a 7 rolls, but I have 85 to gain if a 7 rolls at this point. So let's roll, and I got an 11, so I won that. So let's put another come bet. From here on out, I'm putting a come bet every single roll. I just won $28 on the 10, so I'm going to be really conservative and just put $20 on the odds on 10, and let's just keep on going, because I just want it. So I won there. I don't want to have too much money out here that I could lose, because I only have 85 to gain by rolling a 7 at this point. But as you can see from winning the place bet when the number hits, I'm actually using the winnings from the place bet to to put on odds. So I'm actually using house money on odds here. So let's roll it again. Oh, I lost my come bet. That happens sometimes. So I rolled an 8, so I win. So let's do min bet here. I can't put odds yet until I do my come out roll. I really want a 7 here. Okay, so on the 7, I win on the pass line and I won my no 6. So that's best case scenario. And nobody's going to be mad at you for winning your no 6 because everybody on the table wins on a 7 on a come out. So when you're at the casino, don't worry about DCing because people will be happy anyway. All right, so we're back on the pass line. So we roll an 8 again. Now, here's an important thing. I have no don't come right now. I'm going to come down off my hard 6 because I only had the hard 6 to hedge my no 6. I'm going to come down off of all of my place bets. And then I'm going to repeat. So we're back up $75 on the don't come. $75. And we could do $5 on the 11 again just to hedge that bet. So I win $75 if we roll a 7. And I think in some cases it's important because there's 6 ways to roll a 7, which loses on the don't come, and then there's 2 ways to roll an 11, which would end up being 8 ways to lose out of 36, which is like 1 out of 4.5 rolls would lose here. But by taking away 2 of those ways to lose by putting money on the 11. Now there's only 6 ways out of 36 to lose. Now I only lose here 1 out of every 6 times. So losing 1 out of every 6 times is much more desirable than losing 1 out of every 4.5 or 2 out of every 9. So that's one reason to put money on this 11. But keep in mind, in the long run, this is a big house edge here. I think it's like 13% house edge on this $5 bet. So I'm losing money faster in the long run by putting money on this. I could just risk it by not putting any money, and in the long run I would last a little longer. So just keep that in mind. So we rolled a 9. I lose my 5, but I got my 75. So now we're going to repeat. I'll max out this bet here, and then I'm going to put all my place bets out here again. Min bet is 10, so I got to do this. On the 6 is going to be 12. If you're watching this video, you're experienced enough with craps to know how much you're supposed to be betting here. If not, you need to watch my introduction tutorial. So again, we're pretty much in the same situation. Now on the 5 and 9, here's where things differ a little bit. There is no way to hedge on the 5 and 9 with a hard way. There is no hard 5 and hard 9. So I'm pretty much just risking it. I'm risking rolling a 9. In any way, shape, or form. There's only 4 ways to roll a 9, so I have just as much of a chance to lose the 6 and the 8, even if I'm betting on the hard way, than I do on the 9 and 5. So here we go. Let's see what happens here. So I rolled a 10, so we're going to put odds on 10. Remember, this is house odds now because we just won the place bet. Roll 11, so I won on the come. Rolled a 10, so I won the place bet. It's kind of like deja vu here. 11 wins on the come. I'm actually doing pretty well here. 4, so we're going to put 20 odds on 4. And 8 wins again. So I'm doing pretty good here. So let's have a come out roll. Again, we're hoping for a 7 on the come out roll, and I didn't get it, but that's okay. We'll put, let's do 25 odds. Now, what do we have out here before we get going? We still have our no 9, so we don't have to DC again. But I got to remember to put my odds on 8. Maybe I'll max it out. Okay, so now we're ready to roll. Oh, I won my 4. Wow. Okay, put your pass line bet down. Let's make a roll. Hopefully it's a 7. Oh, I lost my 9. Now, this is where you got to make a decision. There's 2 things I could do here. I could say, hey, this shooter, we're still on the first shooter here. I started with $300. I'm way up right now. Yeah, I lost $75 on that one roll, but if I lose everything that's out there now, I'm still way up. So I could say for that reason, I'm not going to put another DC up. I got a really hot roller. Let's just run with it. And if I don't put a DC up, I stand to lose everything that's out here if a 7 rolls. So for this instance, let's go ahead and do that. Let's not put a DC up again. Don't forget odds on 4. And let's just, right now, we're betting on a really super hot shooter. We could lose all of this in the next roll, but that's okay because we have 472. We would win on the come. So let's see what happens. Got the 5. Now we're putting house money again. And since we're doing so well, that's another thing. Craps tables can be very streaky, so you really need to take advantage of that. When you're winning, bet heavier. When you're losing, bet really conservatively. Don't chase your losses. And so let's roll again. Okay, so I finally 7'd out. Even though I only won 20 bucks on that 7 out. I got $476. I started with 300, so I'm doing really good. But now let's repeat our process. So I won there with 11. 10. Now we're going to go 75 on the don't come bar. And we're going to hedge it. So now we have an 8. So we're going to come, of course, and we're going to put odds on the 10. Let's go place bets. Don't forget 12 on 6. Now there's something a little different here. We got our 8, our no 8. So we're going to hedge that with a $5 bet. And this $5 would turn into 50 if a hard 8 hits, which is less than 75. But that's okay, because remember, house edge here, we don't want to give away too much money on our hard ways to the casino, which is what you're doing anytime you're betting on the hard ways. So we have all of our place bets across. The cool thing about this system is something's happening every single roll. So if you have ADHD or whatever, and you need things happening and you don't want to wait on your point to hit or not hit, this is a great way to do that. The bad thing is you're keeping the dealer extremely busy, and as such, they can make mistakes, and you have to pay close attention to those dealers to make sure that they're paying you correctly, that they're not forgetting to do something here. They're nonstop busy. One thing I would recommend is try to find a table that doesn't have so many people on it to do this system, because this could get really hairy on a crowded table, and you really got to pay close attention. So let's continue. So the 5 hit, use the dealer's or the house money for your odds. Hit again. Maybe if it's hot, we'll go a little heavier on this. 7 out, but I won 85 for my bets out here, which ends up 170, right? So 85 plus they paid my 85 gives me 170. I'm up to 508, so I did pretty well there. One of the things that you'll realize when you play this way for a while is that the if the table's lukewarm or even cold, if the table's very cold, you're going to be kind of breaking even most of the time, because your don't come is going to hit. Oh, this is best case scenario. Every once in a while when you're on the don't come, you're going to roll craps, especially 2 and 3. And that's when it really pays off. So I got paid $150 in one roll. So that's awesome. I'll just put it back up there, 75. Remember to replace your 11. Okay, I'm back up on the 9. Don't forget your odds now. On my 6, I may maximize this to 5 times odds. Put your place bets back up. Don't forget we're doing $12 on the 8. We can't hedge the 9, so we're going to leave it as is, and then we're just going to roll, see what happens. We lost that. Let me point something out here to you real quick. A lot of people would look at this board and say, "You're betting $187 right now. I can't believe you're a huge gambler. You're really, high roller, whatever you want to call it." Forget that. You're you have less at risk here than just about any other way you could bet $187. I stand to win 85 if I roll a 7, and I'll lose the rest. But any other time, any other number I hit, I'll win a little bit, and I get to still hedge all that with the $85 7. So this is a very conservative way to be betting a lot of money. And why would I want to do that? Because your comps are going to be based on how much you're wagering. So this is actually a good thing. You get a lot more comps when you bet this way too. So I hit my 4. Let's keep on rolling. Hit my 6, so I won that. That's really good. Now we're on the come out. Hopefully it's a 7. Yes, it is. So this is payday right here. $190 I won. So we keep on going. Now here's the come out roll. Our place bets were off. Now we have to take them off because they would be on if I didn't take them off. If you're in a casino, you don't have to take your place bets off every single time. You just tell them, take me off my bets for the next roll, and they'll take a little chip that says off, and they'll put it on there, and you don't have to even take them down. So here we go. Let's roll it. Now some of you are asking, why didn't I put odds on there? The reason why is I want the least amount of money at risk during any one given roll, and since the second roll the most amount of money is at risk, I don't want to push my luck by putting a bunch of money on odds there, because you will start hitting 7s and stuff like that. So all right, so now we're coming out. In a casino, you'll be able to hedge your 4 by putting money on the hard 4. On the come out roll, I can't do that here. This isn't the best program in the world. It's probably the best one that I've ever found, but it doesn't allow you to be on the hard ways on the come out roll, which is unfortunate. When I'm at the casino, I always tell them, give me a hard 4 and make it working on the come out roll. So anyway, so let's roll. We roll a 6. I'm gonna max out on my odds here, put my place bets down. So we're doing the same thing again. Now I want to place my hard 4. I have 75. If I bet 10, that wins me 70. That's good enough. I don't, so I'm betting more than I am on the 6 and 8, but that's okay. This is great. There's only 3 ways to roll a 4. By hedging it, you've taken 50% of your risk away. So that's really good. Now there's only 2 ways to lose here. I got to roll an easy 4. So we're in really good shape here. Oh, that's a way to lose too. Okay, so I'm on the 9. Let's put 20 on that, 20 odds on it. So I 7'd out, so I won my 85 again, and so that's okay. It's okay that I had all those place bets out there. That was all hedged. Okay, so let's go with the $75. Take away 2 of my ways to lose. And I hit a 7. So no big deal. That's going to happen. As a matter of fact, it should happen once every 6 rolls. And you're just going to have to deal with it. You just got to hope that it happens later when you're way up. If that happens early, that's not good. But and that sometimes happens. You just got to deal with it. Okay, so I'm back on the 4. So let's go, let's max out our odds here. Place my bets. And then put the come bet, and don't forget to hedge your 4. And there we go. Oh, it happens. Okay, we're up. Now here's, I got a 6 and an 8. Now, I have a lot of money at risk here now because I put so much on odds, but, I'm feeling lucky right now. I'm way up, so let's give it a shot. So I hit my 5. Maybe I'll just put 20 on 20 odds on that. Always even odds. You should know that already. 12. Boy, craps are not being very good to me. Hit my 9. We'll do 20 on that one. So I won on my 8. Now what you're going to find, now we got a hot shooter here. So we got a 5, so let's, now don't forget your odds on your 8 here. So we have a really hot shooter here. Once you get all your come bets up here, at this point, anytime they're not rolling a 4, this is just your personal ATM. Put your odds back up. Maybe I'll go 30 here now. Now I got my own personal ATM here. I just won 130 on that last roll. So every roll I'm winning money. Won money even there. 11 on the come out. So maybe I'll push this to the max. Max bet on this would be 40. Is that right? Yeah, 40. So I put 40 max bet. Hit my 5. See, I'm just raking it in now. Okay, so I hit my 7. So not only did I win on the pass line, and not only did I win on my no 4, but all those odds, and keep in mind, those odds, I was using house money there, and they were all at risk during the action for a 7, even though it was just house money. But I get to keep all my odds on a come out roll when a 7 hits. So I ended up with $310 because they paid my 75, they paid my pass line, and they gave all the odds that I won back. So that's where you're really banking. And look, I'm almost up to $1,000. I only started with $300, and this is exactly what I do at the casino. So here's the come out roll. Okay, take down your no 4 or hard 4. Take down your place bets, and then we're gonna go. I'm getting close to $1,000 here. So let's start up in the ante a little bit here. So I'll do 150. So we doubled that. Let's see what happens. So I'm on the 8. $150 on 8. Now, some of you guys who have ever played DC, you have the option of not letting that travel because you think, oh, 6 and 8. Let me tell you something. The odds of you winning a no 8 is better than losing it. You have a greater chance of winning this no 8 than losing it. So keep it there. If you're really that worried about it, we're going to hedge it a little bit here. I'll put $10 down to win 100. Remember the house edge there. We don't want to overdo it. And normally, if I'm in a casino that has better odds than 3, 4, 5, I'm still going to do a minimum bet on the come. But in this particular case, the odds are kind of bad, so I got to up it to higher bet here. So that's kind of unfortunate. If I was at my casino where they have 100 times odds, I would still do a minimum bet on the come. Now we're going to go across. We have $150 that we're going to win if they roll a 7. So we can get a little bit more aggressive on the outside here. So now I have $100 across. I have 50 there. There's 150. But I stand to win 175, 150, 160, 170. But I can win 175 if they roll a 7. So there's my setup right there. That's all you got to do. So let's go ahead and play this out. So I got a 5. So I'm going to be a little bit conservative and just go 50 there for now. Oh, 2 lost. I was 7 out. So I'm still at 905. I can't remember what I started this out with. I know I was getting close to 1,000, but I had all that money on the board, and at the end of the day, I ended up, maybe only losing a little bit, and that's the beauty of it. But let's try that again. This time, let me put 200 on the don't come. So we'll go $10 there. Oh, 7 out. 8. It happens. It happens sometimes. Now we're getting down to it's about 700. So let's go back to normal. And that's another thing. You got to monitor your balance. If you want to win big, you got to bet big, but you don't want to have too much of your entire chip stack at risk. I'll just go there. So if I lose here, I'll win 75 if 11 hits. Okay, so I'm back on the 8. So I'm going to maximize my odds here. I'm going to do a $10 come, and then let's do let's go across here on the outside. And I'm going to hedge on the 8 with 10, because that'll give me 100 to hedge that. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to try something a little different here since we're up a little bit. I'm just going to double my bets on the places here, and let's see what we can do here. So I got a 10. Now, since I won 56 on that bet, I'm going to go ahead and maximize that. I won my 6, so now we're coming out. Now, if we roll a 7 here, that's really good. Roll 6 again. Okay, so let's maximize our odds here. Don't forget to come out. Minimum bet. And let's roll it. A 1 on the come with an 11. Okay, I won my 10. That's really good. Maximize the odds again. Oh, crapped out. Okay, so I lost my 8. Okay, so what do we do here? This is what you're going to do even at the casino. This may seem a little hairy. You got to be kind of an extrovert. If you're worried about doing this, do not try this this strategy at a casino unless you're willing to do this. You're going to take your odds down in front of you. You're going to tell the dealer, I want off my place bets and off my odds. That's what you got to tell him. You have to tell him that. Since we don't have a dealer here, I have to physically take them off. If he tries to physically take these off, tell him no, just put an off button on it. And the reason you want to do that is because it's a pain in the butt to go back up and down on these things. So what I did is I took back all that money, and now look, I'm up to 7-11 again. So if they do roll a 7 right here, I didn't lose everything. I'm actually using the money that I had out there to put it back on the don't come for the next roll. So let's see what happens. So I'm on the 5 now. Now that your don't comes back up, you can put these bets back up. Put your odds back up on your 6. Put your odds up on your 8. Now, before we roll, let's see how much money we have going on here. 100, actually, it'd be $110 one if they roll a 7, but we have 120, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We have like over $200 at risk here. If you're really worried about the fact that as 7 rolls, we actually lose almost $100. If you're really worried about that, you can lay on this 5, on your no 5. So I could go $75 lay would win me 50. $150 lay would win me another 100. So now I would win $200 if a 7 hits. 210 if you count the comp. So if that makes you feel more comfortable here, then go ahead and do that. Now, you have more at risk here if a 5 hits. That's why I don't like to lay unless I really have to. So here we go. Let's roll it. So I hit my 6. Oop, betting too big. So we're on the come out. Let's roll 7. Nope, 10. All right. So don't forget your odds on your 6. Your odds on your point, which is 10. We're still placing the 4 and 10, and we have a big giant no 5. Don't be afraid to make these bets. You have a lot less at risk here than you think. I mean, it says we're betting $460, which is more than half of the remaining of our balance. But there's nowhere near 460 at risk here on any one given roll. So we rolled a 7. So we ended up winning $470. Now we're up to 816. We actually lost a little money from the 900 that we had, but we had the potential to win a lot because of all those place bets and come bets, which is key. You'll find out. Well, you kind of